So Max, you've been involved in international real estate, like me, since God was a boy.
Correct, right.
And you sort of dropped out of the picture in this country for a while, and you've now come back to the property investor show.
I have.
What persuaded you now is the time to come back to the property investor show?
Well, that's an interesting question, John. I thought that the Brits and other folks that are here, our market has really opened up to foreign investors.
Yes.
We deal with investors for strictly investors and for our immigration program.
Sure. You're based in Florida.
I'm based in Orlando, Florida.
And you know, Florida is a huge tourist destination, huge investor magnet, isn't it?
It is. Well, we have nearly 60 million visitors a year.
Yes, that's quite a few, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And as you recall, we're about 15 minutes away, my property, from all the parks and the airport, so it's very convenient for us.
We've got really, as I see it anyway, three categories of investors going into Florida. There are some people who just want a holiday home and maybe to make a few dollars out of it when they're not using it.
Right.
And you've got others who are there for just pure investment returns, and then you've got people involved in immigration to the United States. Can we just look briefly at each of those?
Sure.
Holiday homes. What's the big draw to Florida for holiday homes? Where are people buying, and how much is it costing?
Good. So the first thing that they do is when they buy, they're buying for the pride of ownership.
Yeah, sure.
They want to tell their fans.
It's fun.
It's fun. They say, we own a home in Florida.
Yeah.
We own a home near Disney.
And if you're nice to me, I may allow you to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a typical investor that we see.
Yeah.
The investor that's looking for a return, pure return. He doesn't want his family there. He just wants income.
Yes.
So we have those types of investors.
And what sort of properties are they looking at? What generates the most income for the lease bucks?
For the lease bucks, it's condominiums.
Yeah.
Really, because it's managed by somebody else.
You haven't got to worry if the roof leaks.
There's no worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and what sort of return would you say you'd get out of a condo investment in Orlando?
I would say an average return is about 6%.
Yes. And in today's climate, where banks are paying you nothing, 6% isn't to be laughed at, is it?
No, not at all.
Not in a stable environment such as the United States.
Right. And what they also see, Don, is that they typically use the unit a couple of weeks a year.
And that's an added bonus, isn't it?
It is.
Especially you make sure you use it when no one else is going to use it. If it's 2 void weeks, go and have a holiday.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially from here,
Simple.
Great, flights from here.
What about the immigrant?
Right.
We've got these two or several immigration visa programs going in the US, and I know you're very enthusiastic about these. Can you just explain briefly, because we're running a little time, the EB-5 and the E2 programs?
Sure. Okay. First of all, we're a full-service firm.
Yeah.
We're a law firm.
Yeah.
Right. So we handle 100% of the paperwork.
Yeah.
There's a big distinction between an EB-5 and an E2 investment. Today, if you would buy, the government says make a substantial investment. You would buy, say, 3 of our condos for, 450 USD. That would be substantial. You would be able to apply for a green card immediately.
With an E2 visa?
With an E2 visa, yes. Apply and get a green card and then citizenship, if that's what you were looking for.
And the thing about the E2 visa is that it is for entrepreneurs. It is for people who are going to run a business, the business being letting out condos or whatever.
Exactly. Now, not everybody does that. Sometimes they do it for that reason, but they come to other management companies to help them.
Sure, yes,
right?
but you've got to be in charge of it.
Absolutely.
And of course, if you get an E2 visa, your wife, for example, could then go and get a job in the United States just on a regular basis, as I understand.
Yes, and you bring your family, your children.
And you can bring your family.
Yeah, everybody is on one green card.
Yeah.
Right.
So, go sideways to the EB-5 program. This is for people who don't want to get involved in running anything. They just want to whack $1 million or $500,000 into an approved investment and get a green card based on that.
Correct. 5 years to 7 years down the road.
Yeah.
A long time.
You're on a waiting list for a green card, effectively.
Well, it's a very long queue today.
Yeah.
Today is 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, we would never tell anybody it's sooner.
So you think that the appeal of the EB5 program has diminished, do you, in relation to the E2 program because of the delays?
Yes, 100% correct.
And of course, they keep on saying they're going to abolish it, and then they never do. A decade they must have been saying we're going to abolish the EB5.
Well, they're never going to do it because it brings in, added dollars to the U.S. and it brings in, additional employment.
Yes.
It's a fantastic program all around.
You're looking to the British market as being a contributor to this for some time to come.
Well, there's no question about it. The British market is our number one market. The vetting process for a Brit is almost like an American. I mean, the language.
So easy.
Yeah. Yes. Truly is.
And have you noticed any changes, with all of this Brexit discussion going on? Have you come across people who are saying, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to go and live and move to the United States, and put in some money, start a business, and let's just.
Well, it's funny you say that. I hear people say, people have different political views, and everybody thinks that if someone they don't care for gets into power, they're going to leave. But it's not so. The truth of the matter is...
It's a lot of magnetism.
Well, yeah, but the truth is making a decision for immigration is huge.
Yes.
Picking up your whole family and leaving?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's easier to get rid of a husband or a wife than it is to immigrate. I mean, it's a huge decision, and we understand that and handle people, that way. So.